I gotta admit, this left my head scratching a little bit. Volkite weaponry, especially the chassis. I knew I wanted some kind of glow effect because the threads are so deep, they're so deeply cut into the machine that if I left them pure black, well, there's a lot of black. I mean, they have dark metal. When I looked at the vehicle overall, there was a lack of that big C word, contrast. So I wanted to introduce a little bit of a higher value to this piece. And it came in the form of the volkite weaponry, but it's not plasma weaponry where it has this bright, intense glow that just annihilates everything around it. Rather, the glow on the inside needed to be more lambent, more phosphorescent, not as aggressive as the plasma glow. So let's have a look at how we create volkite glow as opposed to plasma glow. I hope I got that the right way around. I'm not recording this again. Alrighty, so the process starts quite easily. Wherever we are in the process, we apply white into the shadows or the alcoves of the volkite, and this could be any white. I think I'm using Chimera white here because it was already on my palette, but really any white will do us. So dab the paint in between and then run it along. Look how sexy this is. Run it along the edge like so to give a lambent inner glow. So all the glow is coming from the inside of the volkite. It doesn't look like it's exploding either. Unlike plasma, which is much, much more intense. Then we take Chimera yellow, and this is cold yellow. This is popped into the airbrush, and it is 1 portion paint, 3 portions thinner, and this overlaps everything, even the metallic, because the overlapping onto the metallic will give that nice glowy effect. So I'll apply 2 very thin coats over the entirety of everything just to make sure it sticks in there. And the great thing about using pure pigment paints, so these or the Scale 75 range, is that they are very, very intense, and they almost look like fluorescent paints because they are so gosh darn intense. Gosh darns for all the viewers under 30. Beautiful coil action there. Next up we take orange, and this is again from Chimera, and we angle the miniature, so we're just clipping the top of the coils, and we want to drag this right the way down, but it's very important that we angle the airbrush so it's not running down into the gaps of the vents. So we're kind of airbrushing across the plane of the miniature, across the plane of the sculpt to pick up on the vents. And again, we are using Chimera paint because it's so darn intense. I know I'm coming up with all sorts of foul language. I'm turning the air blue. Yeah, it's just so gosh darn intense. It gives such a wonderful, even in low light conditions, which is important. It's weirdly important because when you game, you aren't doing it in ideal lighting conditions, right? So the more intense the paint, the better. Okay, orange neon from Scale 75 then overlaps everything, and this is thinned down 1 portion paint to around 3 portions thinner. I am, where I'm able to, trying to avoid the very, very inner coil. So this runs on top of the coils, airbrushing down, and a fluorescent paint, oh boy will it shine. Again, great in low lighting conditions, and it all goes to build up this effect, all goes to build up the intensity of the effect. And then a little bit of afterglow on the surrounding area. Look at that, beautiful. And it is important that we overlap everything, even the inner yellow, because if we left it pure yellow in the inner core, it would look much more intense. That would be suitable for plasma glow effects. The pied de resistance, black, and we are travelling along the lines of the sculpt, again like the orange, to clip the very top of those coils. Any black will do us here to create the glowing effect. And this works on all kinds of volkite. It could work on small, big like this. I do intend to use this recipe on a Reaver Titan relatively soon. There we have it, volkite, almost lost it there, volkite glow effect. Now to finish this effect off, we take some cyan ink from scale 75, we airbrush this at the very tip. Now we don't want to go through the full rainbow heat bloom effect because it just simply doesn't get that hot. There's not much energy exchange in my head as plasma glow effect. So the cyan is the heat bloom effect, no other colour. And voila, done. Volkite. And this looks spectacular across the entirety of the vehicle. And what's best, because it is a lighter glow effect, a more lambent glow effect, we don't have to airbrush it onto the vehicle itself, avoiding that niggly issue of, well, if it is glowing, shouldn't the light be reflecting off different surroundings? I guess it should, but we're cheating. That was it. 5-minute volkite in 6 minutes.